I guess you want them. Excuse me, cat. Hello, homemakers. I'm Melinda, and I'm cooking my way through Betty Crocker's 1971 recipe card library. And today we're making cranberry puffs. All right, cranberry puffs are from section N, favorite family desserts, and it is recipe card number 21. Cranberry puffs are essentially a cake that is made in like a cupcake or muffin tin, but you put jam on the bottom of the tin so that when you flip them out, there's like this oozy, gooey jam on top of the little cake. And then on top of that, you pour a butter sauce, which I've never heard of before, but I'm very intrigued by. It sounds delicious. Okay, let's get started. All right, let's take a look at the ingredients. Cranberry puffs are pretty simple, thanks to Betty Crocker and her Bisquick. All you need is a cup of cranberry orange relish, a cup of Bisquick baking mix, some sugar, an egg, some milk. I'm going to use half and half because that's all I have. And then the butter sauce, which is basically more sugar, more cream, butter, and vanilla. Okay, so the first step is to heat the oven to 400, which we are doing. And then we are greasing 8 large muffin cups. Is there sizes of things? Because I just assumed they meant like this pan, like a cupcake pan, but I hope they're not too small. Okay, so I'm going to grease these with some oil and then proceed. Okay, so we have our greased muffin tin. I only greased 8 of them. And now we are going to spoon about 2 tablespoons of cranberry orange relish into each cup. I wasn't sure what they were meant by cranberry orange relish. Like when I make Thanksgiving dinner, I do like fresh cranberries and like you put orange in the cranberry sauce. So it's assuming it's kind of the same thing as that, but we're nowhere near Thanksgiving and there's nowhere to get fresh cranberries, so I am using this cranberry relish that has orange in the ingredients, so I think this will work just fine. I do feel like 2 tablespoons is a lot for each cupcake. Maybe they should be bigger. Maybe I should just do 1 tablespoon. Maybe I'll do some with 2 and some with 1 and we can see what works. I am going to use a lot of this relish situation. How much did it say to have? A cup? This is 18 ounces, so this is like a little over 2 cups. So I guess I should have half left when I'm done. Step 1, complete. All right, so the next step is to make the little cake that goes on top of the cranberry relish, which is mostly Bisquick. So we need a cup of Bisquick. Bisquick is so chunky. Like, look at that. Like, see how chunky that is? Okay. 1/4 cup of sugar, which, as we know, I don't have a 4th cup. This is a 3rd cup, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. 1 egg. I always smell the egg in case it's bad. And then, what's the last thing? 1/3 cup of milk. I only have half and half, but I think it'll be fine. All right. Now I just have to mix it with something. All right, so we're just gonna whisk this all together until we get a batter. It says, what did it say? Beat vigorously for 1/2 minute. 30 seconds. Put the clock on. Okay, 30 seconds, done. Okay, now we just have to pour it in. Okay, so now we are going to fill the muffin cups 2/3 full with batter. And we're already at almost 1/3 full of cranberry, so we'll see how it goes. While I'm doing this, we could do a little Betty history. That's about 2/3. Yeah. So I thought this would be a good moment to talk a little bit about World War II and what was happening in the food scene. So when World War II was kind of going strong, the government had to start rationing our food. And this was because, it was a bunch of reasons, but part of it was that we didn't have as much farm labor because the boys were overseas who would typically be in the field. We also had to restructure manufacturing and distribution away from foods, services, and food manufacturing to like weapons manufacturing and stuff like that. And so it was really important to make sure that housewives knew how to conserve food. And so the government was like really big into kind of like making sure they only bought what they needed and they didn't waste anything, and they put everything to good use. And they even had like this campaign called Starve the Garbage Can. Like, can you not throw anything away? And of course, when they thought about how they could get information out into the world about how to ration your food, they came to Betty Crocker because she was already speaking to millions of women in the home. And so she became kind of like a driving force for all of these ideas and these campaigns. And she was everywhere. She was in grocery stores, recipe card booklets in the checkout. She was in women's magazines. She was on the radio, and she was really pushing these ideas of rationing and how to not waste food. And the first ingredient that got rationed was sugar. Eventually other things got rationed, like butter and other fats, red meat, other things like that, but sugar was the first. And of course all of Betty's recipes had sugar in it. So she was kind of at the forefront of giving women the tools to cook without sugar or with less sugar. And that's why I thought that it was a good thing to talk about here, because she often referred to Bisquick, because Bisquick already had sugar in the packaging. So she was telling women, if you use Bisquick, you don't need to use your sugar ration. You can use this instead. All right, so we are putting these in the oven for 15 minutes or until the tops are golden. All right, so to make the butter sauce, we are going to heat a 1/2 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of light cream to boiling and stir it constantly. And then we'll remove it from the heat, and with a rotary beater, we'll beat in a 1/4 cup of butter and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. All right, so now we're gonna beat our sugar milk mixture with a 1/4 cup of softened butter and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. This vanilla is potent. Smell it. Ah! Okay, that's gonna need a little cleanup. Okay, we're beating. Okay, this looks like butter sauce. I don't know what butter sauce is supposed to look like, but it looks pretty good. We're ready for those cranberry puffs to come out of the oven. I'll clean up a little bit while I wait. Wow! Okay, I don't know what these nipples are about, but they are golden. Okay. They are an interesting shape that I don't know how you're supposed to serve upside down. But it says to flip them onto a wire rack. Invert puffs onto a wire rack. Okay, one came out, and it's lost all its jam. The jam is still in the thing. Okay, I think I need to cut all the nipples off so that they like actually sit on this tray when they're inverted. Is that crazy? Okay, we're leveling out our muffins because we can't flip them over. I'm scared. Okay, just go for it. Just go for it. Ooh. If they didn't come out after I did all of that prep work, 2 are still in there. Wow, this is kind of a fail. Oh man, they don't look very good. We'll have to zhuzh some more jam on top. Okay, so jam didn't come out, so I'm scooping it out on my own. All right. let me get these on a final plate and then we'll drizzle the butter sauce on. Okay, our butter sauce, which looks kind of like royal icing, is ready to spoon over these babies. I don't know how much to put, just like a drizzle. Okay, those look pretty good. I was gonna say they look really good, but I'm not gonna lie, they don't look as appetizing as I predicted, but even the photo doesn't look that appetizing. I think they're gonna taste good because they smell good. Okay. The cranberry relish is so sweet. And then to have the sugary butter sauce and a sugary muffinish cake thing. It's a sweet dish. But I like how simple it is. It's just cake and cranberry. I know some things went wrong with the depanning of them, but I think they turned out as well as they could have. Very sweet. That's all I can say. Sweet and gooey. I do like that they're like warm. I don't know if you would need the butter sauce. Let me try it. Can I just try some butter sauce on its own? Wow, that butter sauce is just like straight up sugar. There's sugar and butter. Yeah, I don't know if you would needed that. Cranberry Puffs. All right, Cranberry Puffs. I was a little disappointed in this one. It was okay. It wasn't a disaster, but it didn't turn out quite like I envisioned it. I'm wondering. I have a few theories. I am wondering if a muffin tin is in fact different and bigger than a cupcake pan, and if that's part of the issue, is that I was putting them in too small of containers. But it was weird how much they puffed and how the top was so uneven that I had to slice it off. I thought that was strange. And then the fact that they didn't really flip out that easy was frustrating. And then on top of that, it was just really, really sweet. Like, I don't think the butter sauce needed to happen. And I wonder if part of it is just the relish that I purchased was itself really sweet, and typically a cranberry relish is a little more tart, and you might want the butter sauce to balance it. In this case, it was just like sugar overload. And then it just they didn't look that cute. They kind of looked like a dessert version of like a pizza bagel. So if I had to give it a rating, which I do, that's the show, I think I'd give it 2 out of 5 red spoons. Okay, back in the box. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, happy homemaking.